Let us look at optimality conditions for convex optimization problems. So this discussion serves as a prelude or motivation for our development of Lagrange duality. So let's consider the problem minimize over x f of x subject to x in calligraphic x. So this is a compact notation where the calligraphic x is nothing but the set x such that gi of x is less than equal to 0 and ax equal to b. Right, so this is a compact notation. It's just saying that we are interested in minimizing f of x subject to some constraints, and those constraints are all included in this calligraphic x. So x is basically the feasibility region. Anything that is in calligraphic x is essentially feasible. What we are interested is in finding out what are the properties a point such as x star, which is the optimum point, should satisfy. So the properties that x star should satisfy, or the properties of x star. So those are called the optimality conditions. So essentially we are going to say that if x star satisfies certain properties, then we can say that x star is optimum, and vice versa. If x star is optimum, then it should satisfy those properties. Now remember the first order condition for convexity of f of x. So if you remember the first order condition, it said that f of x is greater than equal to f of y plus inner product of gradient f of y comma x minus y. Right, so this is the first order convexity condition, and basically this we are interested in x and y that are in the calligraphic x, that are feasible, because if they are not feasible, then this is not of much use. So we are interested in x and y that are feasible. So calligraphic x is the feasibility region. So here suppose that gradient f of y x minus y is greater than equal to 0. So suppose that this holds for all x in calligraphic x. So suppose that for some y it holds that gradient f of y inner product with x minus y is greater than equal to 0 for all x in calligraphic x. Then what would this imply? Then this would imply, if you combine these two equations, if you combine these two inequalities, this implies that f of x would be greater than equal to f of y for all x in calligraphic x. So this means what? This means that y is the point where f of x is minimized. So in other words, this implies that y is nothing but x star. Right, so this is our first basic optimality condition, which is saying that gradient f of y comma x minus y inner product greater than equal to 0. So for all x in calligraphic x is the optimality condition for this optimization problem. Right, so if I write it in terms of x star, I can also say that gradient f of x star comma x minus x star is greater than equal to 0 for all x in calligraphic x. So what I'm saying is that x star satisfies this condition, and if this condition is satisfied, then that point is in fact x star, which follows from the first order condition. Right, so this also implies that f of x is greater than equal to f of x star for all x in calligraphic x, which is essentially the definition of x star. So x star is the point such that f of x star is the smallest among all x in calligraphic x, and of course we also require x star to be in calligraphic x, but that is a given. It is the optimum point, so it is indeed in calligraphic x. right? So this condition, let's examine what this condition implies. Let's take a simple example. Let's take that calligraphic x is Rn, right? So there are no constraints. If there are no constraints, then what does this inequality say? This inequality is essentially saying that gradient f of x star comma x minus x star is greater than or equal to 0 for all x in Rn. Now observe that x minus x star is an arbitrary vector in Rn. Is it possible for an arbitrary vector to always be at an acute angle with gradient f of x star? So in general, this is not possible, and in fact this implies that gradient f of x star is equal to 0. So only if gradient f of x star is equal to 0 is it possible that an arbitrary vector is always acute. So it's not possible. It's only possible if one of these vectors is 0 always, right? So this is the optimality condition for the unconstrained case. If you have unconstrained problem, then the optimality condition is simply gradient f of x star equal to 0 for convex problems, right? So we have already seen this. We already know this, that for unconstrained problems, gradient f of x star equal to 0 is the optimality condition. We can extend this a little bit further. So let's consider the problem minimize f of x subject to ax equal to b. So now our calligraphic x is the set of all x such that ax equal to b. In other words, calligraphic x is affine. So when calligraphic x is affine, the first order optimality condition can be written as x minus x star inner product with gradient f of x star is greater than or equal to 0. Now when would it happen that a vector gradient f of x star makes an acute angle with x minus x star? Observe that this should hold for all x in calligraphic x. Observe that any x in calligraphic x would satisfy ax equal to b. Likewise, we expect also the optimal point to satisfy ax equal to b. So this means that x minus x star, so what does it mean? A times x minus x star is equal to 0, or x minus x star is in the null space of A. So x minus x star is necessarily in the null space of A. So now what is that vector that makes an acute angle with the null space of A? Observe that null space of A is a linear subspace, and you cannot make an acute angle with all vectors in the linear subspace. So imagine a plane. For instance, if you have a plane, any vector cannot make an acute angle with every vector on this plane, right? If it makes acute angle with some, it would make an obtuse angle with the others. So this means that the only possibility again, so this implies that the only possibility again is that gradient f of x star comma x minus x star, this inner product, is equal to 0. So that is the only possibility, because it is not possible to make an acute angle with every vector in a linear subspace. So in other words, we mean to say that gradient f of x star is orthogonal to null space of A, because x minus x star is in the null space of A. So this belongs to orthogonal of the null space of A, which is nothing but the range space of A transpose. So this is our optimality condition. So the optimality condition in this case is given by f of x star belongs to range space of A transpose. Or you could say that there exists V such that gradient f of x star is equal to A transpose V, right? So this is the optimality condition whenever there is a affine constraint. Whenever x is restricted to affine, the optimality condition is that there exists V such that gradient f of x star is equal to A transpose V. We can derive this condition in another way also. So let's derive it in another way. If you recall, for any problem of this form where constraint is ax equal to b, we have already said that this calligraphic x which is written as the set of all x such that ax equal to b, can also be written as the set of all wy plus x naught, and y belongs to R of the dimensionality of NA. So this is alternative representation. So with this representation, if you recall, we can always write this optimization problem as minimize with respect to y as an unconstrained problem of wy plus x naught. Remember that x naught is a particular solution, right? Particular solution here, and wi, the ith column of w, belongs to null space of A, right? So this part belongs to null space of A, and this is the particular solution. So this can be written as a unconstrained optimization problem, and if we apply our earlier optimality condition that gradient f of x star is equal to 0, so here we need to apply it in terms of y. So gradient with respect to y of f wy plus x naught is equal to 0. So how do we take the gradient with respect to y? We simply use the chain rule. So the chain rule would say that w transpose gradient f of wy plus x naught is equal to 0. Remember that w has n rows, so w transpose would have n columns, and those are multiplying with the n entries of gradient f, right? So this gradient is with respect to the argument of f. So this gradient is with respect to argument of f. F is from Rn to R, so therefore this gradient has size n cross 1, right? So this is the optimality condition, and this is the optimal y actually. So y star I should write, and the optimal y star would be such that x star is equal to wy star plus x naught, right? So if I substitute that here, I get the optimality condition w transpose f of x star is equal to 0. And the other way of writing this, so what is this expression saying? That gradient f of x star is orthogonal to the rows of w transpose, or in other words the columns of w, which was null space of A. So this is exactly saying the same thing, that gradient f of x star belongs to the orthogonal of the null space of A, which is the range space of A transpose, right? So in this way also we can derive exactly the same thing. So this is an example of an optimality condition. In fact, let's look at a very simple case just to get a feel of what we are talking about. So let's consider the problem f1x1 plus f2x2, minimization of these two, subject to x1 plus x2 equal to 1. So here x1, x2 are scalars. In this case, you can see that the gradient of f, so if I define this as f of x, so the gradient of f would be given by f1 prime of x1 and f2 prime of x2, right? So I've differentiated both of them and stacked them, and our requirement is that this should belong to range space of A transpose. So A here is what? A here is 1, 1. So A transpose is the column vector 1, 1. So this should belong to the range space of this column vector. Now what is the range space of 1, 1 column vector? It would contain all entries which have the same first two, both the entries are same. So essentially we are saying that the optimal point would satisfy that f1 prime of x1 star is equal to f2 prime of x2 star, right? So this is again the optimality condition for this problem, for this example problem, right? In addition to this, we also have the condition that x1 star plus x2 star is equal to 1. So essentially these have names. This is called the primal feasibility, and this is called the first order condition. So we have seen one form of optimality condition for convex optimization problems, which is saying that gradient f of x star inner product with x minus x star is greater than equal to 0. But as such, this condition does not tell us much. In the case of unconstrained or linearly constrained problems, sure, we are able to get it in more explicit form. But in general, for nonlinear constraints, this condition is not telling us much. So this motivates a development of the Lagrange duality. So Lagrange duality is essentially, you can think of it as generalization of this approach or this idea of having a first order optimality condition. And in that case, we will have a few more conditions other than the first order condition and the primal feasibility. We'll have a few more conditions, and those combined will be called the optimality conditions for any optimization problem.